Hey, I want to talk about the current market, what I think things are going to be doing. I haven't gone live here in quite a while because I've been very, very busy, just remodeling like crazy. I've had a couple vacancies, a couple things change in my industrial and commercial real estate portfolio. All good stuff. I had to cut some people loose that were dragging a little bit, and others, claimed the tariffs, put them back. Others expanded that were in gas and oil, and that's overall. It's been a win for me. I'm bringing in more money than I was, say, a couple months ago. So almost 100% occupancy. So that's always a good thing. It's always what we strive for. We can talk about a lot of different things today. Make sure I got the backboard on here. Let me see. I'm not sure what that is actually. Anyways, if you want to call in, there's the number, 512-739-1881. Anything you want to talk about, any questions you got, I'd certainly address. I've got playing a few different things here. I apologize, I haven't been on here for a while. Anyways, is anybody concerned about the market? I think I've got a different take than most people. With the interest rates starting to cut, or they're going to begin to cut. I think it's pretty much a given. They're going to be cutting the rates down here pretty soon. If you notice, if you look historically, when the interest rates start cutting, nobody does anything because it's not enough. It's not enough to matter. A quarter point, that's what's probably going to happen. This next Fed session, they're going to cut it a quarter point, and it's not going to do anything. All it does is it makes investors like me,
unknown caller,
and most people. We got a call. Hey, how's it going? Who do we got here? Say again. Hang on, I can't hear you. 1 second. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Let's see if the audience can hear you. Let me double check this. Talk again, please.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, all right. Hey, guys on YouTube, let me know if you can hear him. But I think we hear you fine.
Yeah, okay.
So, what's your name?
My name is Todd.
Todd? Okay.
Yes.
What's on your mind? What are you thinking about?
Honestly, honestly, I just closed on a deal last week. And it's kind of strange because, the market is overpriced, but you could still get discounts, on people that overpaid 3 years ago.
Yeah.
The guy who I bought my buildings from, he paid $1 million.
What kind of building?
It's a commercial building.
Okay.
It's an automotive shop.
Oh, really? Is it like on a main thoroughfare? Like 4 lanes, 5 lanes? Okay.
Yeah. Busy street with a very rich zip code and all that stuff. But it's I asked the neighbors, the neighbors for that property, and that building was vacant for years. And it's okay, why would people overpay for it in the first place? I don't understand that.
There's so many reasons people overpay. Not everybody's experience that buys a piece of commercial property. I've seen guys in good times. I've seen guys that were just killing it for years. This is I even think about right now at the moment. I'm thinking back in the '80s, and I remember selling a guy a piece of land that I just paid $140 for it, and I sold it to him for $520, and I'd sold him a lot of other pieces of land, and he was doing quite well, but he cross-collateralized that a couple other properties, and he couldn't. Then things went to shit, and he couldn't make his payments, and people start defaulting on each other. I've had it happen to me. I've had people default on payments to me. Ultimately, the first property I ever lost was 80 acres. I paid $4,000 an acre, right? Yeah. So I paid $320,000, and I ended up giving it back to the people. I put 50 down. My partner put down 100, and I said, "Man, it's not worth what we paid for it. We don't need it anymore." And we just gave it back. And what it is your optimism. I just made $350,000 on a piece of property. And this back in 1987. And so, you start thinking that you're Superman and that, everything you touch turns to gold. And then you realize that, you're not Superman. And, that's part of my experience I've had. But so people overpay for a lot of different reasons. Anytime I'm driving across the country, and you know how you'll go into, kind of a sparse area, and then you'll see a little house on the side of the road, and it's empty, and it's overgrown, and it's rotting, and it looks like a nice house. Other than that, it's rotting. Or a business like a stand along the road, and it's rotting, and it's just broken dreams, right? People had a dream, and it didn't happen. But anyway, so what do you expect the cap rate to be on this automotive garage that you bought?
Okay, I'll give you the history of it. In 2019, it was sold for $600,000.
Okay.
And in 2023, the current owner that I bought it for, he paid $1 million for it. The issue is that he owns over 76 properties in the area. He is a loaded person.
Okay.
He owns a lot of real estate, and this is one of the real estate. So one of the properties he bought it in 2023 for $1 million, and it was empty since he bought it. He didn't do nothing with it, so I bought it for him for $750. And I think I overpaid for it. I think it's overpriced at $750 myself, but I can't find anything else. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to operate. I'm operating out of it. I have a business I'm partners with. They're gonna lease it out from me.
Well, I mean, did you really need to buy the property?
Well, I need to expand.
Are you going to use it? Are you going to use that particular?
I'm going to use it myself. Yeah, I'm going to use it with a partner.
Right.
Yeah, the partner we're gonna be running out of it. This is our second shop, and we're gonna be running out of it. But I don't know what rate to charge for it. To be honest with you, I'm conflicted. Should I go over 30%, 40% over my payments? I don't know. To be honest, I don't know how to price the rent on it.
Well, I mean, when you own the property, you have a lot of discretion in what you can charge yourself, and the thing is you got to be careful. Because I own a lot of property, right? And I've rented buildings from myself. And, the bottom line is, there's a temptation to charge yourself the max because it's passive income. Once it goes through that, you know what I mean? It's kind of like cleaning income. And so you got to be careful. I've been audited 5 times, in the last 30 years, which is a lot. That's a lot of times to be audited. But I can't hide a nickel, and I've never tried, to be honest. Everything I make is capital gains primarily anyhow with real estate, so there's really no way to hide anything. Certain businesses, everything we take is a credit card. So there's, I can't hide a penny. So it doesn't really matter. So anyways, I've always had a no change letter at the end of the day with the times that I have been audited. But the bottom line is, that's one of the things that can draw attention is when they see that you rent from yourself. So
no, not for myself. There's a separate company, of course. It's gonna be like a different business because the business I'm gonna own the real estate, but I'm gonna partner up with somebody who is experienced in the automotive business, right? So we and him are gonna partner up in the business, and it's gonna be 2 separate entities.
Okay. Well, yeah, no, I get it, but the bottom line is, since you have a partner on it, you got to charge a fair amount of rent.
Yeah.
What you want to share the address? I'll pull it up and we'll take a look at it.
Yeah, it's in Oklahoma City.
You want to give me the?
I'd rather not, to be honest.
Oh, okay, no problem. I understand. Totally understand. I tell all my students stay cryptic. But like I say, the easiest thing you can do is go on Zillow, not Zillow, but go on like LoopNet, and just kind of see what things are renting for in your immediate area. Automotive, is like retail. It goes for a premium if it's well located, on the street, and in fact you can get better than some retail and less than others. But congrats on your purchase. I've been buying houses, and that's one of the things I wanted to talk about. If I could make this damn screen work. Let me see here. Let me see if I can make my background work. I don't know. What else is on your mind? How do you feel about the market? I know some people are worried, but I can tell you, I feel really, really good. For number one, Trump's back, and that does give me some warm feelings. You know what I mean? It's nice to have a businessman back in the seat, and the the country's bringing in a ton of money. And a lot of people don't realize, with 20 million new, migrants coming in, all those people need a place to live. And a lot of people, young people particularly, are bitter about not being able to afford a home and that sort of thing. Well, you can blame the Biden administration because they're the ones that packed this country full of illegal immigrants, and they got to live somewhere. And it's been a boon to people like me because, I bought a lot of houses, and a lot of those people that are living in my homes are new to this country, and they got to live somewhere. And so it's gobbled up the available inventory. It's kept rents at a premium, and and for those of you guys out here, whether you're an investor or not, and hey, comment in the chat there. Ironwood, I don't know if you're still in here, but yeah.
But don't you think that those extra immigrants, they bring a lot of labor and construction? They are building houses too at the same time.
I know, but everything's too expensive. It's just the money's too expensive. The money you got to borrow from the bank is extreme, and as far as, I mean, in all honesty, we need the interest rates. I mean, it'd be nice if the Fed cut things more, but that's not going to happen very quickly. And anytime the Fed cuts rates, when they're so distant from where they, the problem isn't the interest rate, to be quite honest. I mean, it is, but it's that it changed so quickly. You know what I mean? We went up to like 3.5% in a very, very short amount of time. And that left people that were already financed and already had their position, in their homes. They said, hey, I can't get out of here. If they had a mortgage, they're stuck. In other words, anywhere they go, whatever they bought, if they bought something for $400,000, if they got to go get a loan for 70% on whatever else they want to buy, the money costs twice as much now. And so it's going to feel like paying, a $700,000-$800,000 mortgage compared to what they were paying. And so, as an investor, you know exactly how it is. So
I bought it with variable rates,
Yeah. So what do you got? About a 7?
Yeah.
Yeah. And, the thing is, it really doesn't matter. I tell everybody, interest doesn't matter. I started in 1981, and the interest rates are coming down from like 15%. They were even higher than that, but I was too young to buy at the time. But so everything I bought from 1981 to 1990, the lowest interest rate I got in that 10-year term was 9 1/8%, and that was from a conventional bank. And that was the best deal you could get back
how
then.
How many years duration for those kind of loans?
Well, you know what? The interest rate was actually 9 1/4, but I was probably 27 years old, and I put $100,000 in the bank, and so because I opened up a new account, they gave me an eighth off the interest rate. I probably bought it on a 15-year amortization. Maybe that would have got me the best rate is at 15. I probably didn't go 30 because I always watch the numbers, in my mortgage back then, on $145,000, I think I put 35 down. I probably, had a $1,100 a month payment, and I rented half my house to a buddy for $600 a month, and I could make sense of it. But, the thing is, like right now, like the last, I bought 2 houses in the last month. I paid $550 for one, and I paid, what I paid for the other one? I paid $345 for the other. Now, both of these properties 3 years ago were worth, about 30% more than what I bought them for, right? If I paid $345, it was worth $445. If on the one I paid $550, it was at a higher price, $750, $800. And the thing is, and I always, if you can do it, and not everybody can. I mean, if you can pay cash for, a house right now, and you can get a 6% return. In other words, if you can pay cash for it and get a 6% return on that investment, that's a pretty safe place to be. And I think what you'll find is that in order to buy a property today, a house, and get a 6% return, you're going to be buying it for about 30, 40% under what it was maxed out at, say, 3 years ago. And the good news about that is you can get a 6 cap on your money, and then when things come back, and I feel confident that the interest rates will drop. I wouldn't say that. If we had any other president, I wouldn't say that. But with Trump, I believe it. And so I think that the interest rates will continue to drop. And when we get down to about, 1.25%, 1.5% drop, the other thing that's changed is everybody's getting paid more today than they were a year ago. Wages are going up, right? So with wages going up, right now, average family makes about $1,200 more a year than they did a couple of years ago. And so that offsets your mortgage. So in other words, that pays for about $100,000. In other words, in interest, you know what I mean? On an interest rate of say 4%. So with the interest rate going down and interest rates going down and wages going up, it only takes about a point and a half to get to where we were when we were 2.5% lower than we are today. And so I think, and again, I'm just speculating, but, I'm talking from many years' experience, and I usually don't, speculate like this. But I do feel pretty strongly that that's what's going to happen. And I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I bought 6 houses in the last 14 months. And, a lot of these guys that pretend to know real estate, on YouTube haven't bought shit in the last 2 years. And, so that's the difference. But, if you buy it right, there is no bad real estate. There's just bad deals. Just got to buy under market. And
my issue is that, like, for example, with this, and I've been looking at the interest rate, how much interest I would pay over the years, over the next, let's say, 5 years. The first year, my interest rate will cost me close to $50,000, $60,000 a year.
Sure.
Just the payments. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it doesn't really matter what you pay. It doesn't really matter what you pay. It matters what you make on your money. I mean, if you can, I was buying properties 10% interest rate, but I was probably getting a 15 cap when I was buying those. So I was still making 5% on the 10% interest that I was paying. And so that's fine. It works. And that's another thing everybody watching you should be aware of is, it's the blessing with real estate is it's just math. All you got to do is look at the math. And it doesn't matter what interest rate you're paying, as long as the delta on what you're collecting is enough to make it worthwhile. Now, I always make money on the borrowed money, or I don't buy it. I won't buy it otherwise. So,
I see it.
How many square feet is that little property you bought, by the way?
3,800 square foot building.
How big?
3,800 square foot.
Oh, 3,800. Okay. How many bays?
It's 6 bays. It used to be a Midas touch.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, it's a nice building. The building is very nice. It has a 16-foot high ceiling.
Did they build it? How long ago did they build it? I actually missed out on buying it was a Midas building, by the way. And I could have got it for about $1 million too. And it was probably about 3,800 square feet also. Pep Boys ended up buying it, actually.
Yeah, in 1986 it was built.
Oh, okay, not too bad. That's good. Yeah, this one was actually much newer. I kind of kicked myself. Yeah. Can't buy everything.
No, but for me, I look at it as like, okay, these buildings, I understand but a friend of mine built a building like that from scratch. Cost him $500,000 with the land and everything. 505.
505 what?
With equipment.
Oh, okay. And you are you in that business, or you just have a buddy that is?
Well, no, I'm in the business now. It's my second shop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's my second shop, and he's my partner, and he owns several stores, and his other building he just finished last month. It cost him $505,000 with the equipment. So it's like, okay, well, this guy built it from scratch. He bought an old dilapidated metal building, and he just, he pretty much he kept the slab and took everything out.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know what? I don't know why the market's so overpriced. If you could build those things from scratch for that much or less.
Well, it's the land. I mean, the value with what you got is the land. It's the location.
Yeah. But I don't see that for sure. Why would the previous owner? Why would he pay $1 million for it? It's not some people. I don't know how they value properties. Okay, if this property land is worth, for example, $1 million. You know what I mean, or $300,000. Is there demand for it? You know what I mean? That's the issue. A lot of people And this is not my first time. My last property was the same way. Same exact way. The owner lost $50,000 or $60,000 after 3 years of ownership because he couldn't rent it out, and it stayed vacant. So he had to sell it at a loss. He tried to sell it. He started to rent it to me. So I'm not going to rent it from you. Either you sell it to me or I'm going to walk. You know what I mean? And first of all, he refused. He didn't want to sell it. So I walked away. I kept waiting and waiting until he changed his mind about selling it, and then he sold it. You see what I mean?
Right.
Because some people are just like, they don't understand it. Like, okay, I understand your property is valuable, but if you operate out of it, if you could operate something out of it, or if you know somebody who could lease it out, but those businesses or those properties, they're not going to just grow their value or their potential, not value, what is the potential, like market value. It's not going to grow out of thin air. You have to put something. You have to improve on it. You know.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I have about 250,000 square feet now of rentals, and it just amazes me how even sitting still they just continue to go up in value, and the rents keep. Unfortunately, I have to raise my rents. I'm more driven to do that because of the taxation I face from the property taxes. That's what always reminds me I got to crack the whip and raise the rents. But that's just how it is. It's just how it is.
But don't you think like that you don't pass your property tax onto your tenants?
Well, it's easy to say. It's easy to say you're going to pass it on. And believe me, I fight property taxes all the time, and I'm really, really good at fighting them, and I beat them all the time. Tax assessors, it's just, I'm in a war with them right now. I got a property that I just beat them down from, 4 million down to 3.3 on a property that I have. I beat another one down from 3.7 down to 2.8, and it's still not enough for me. I want to get it down a little further. But, taking $2 million off your tax bill between two properties, it's significant. And, the problem is I have triple net leases. I can pass that to my tenants, but it'll put them out of business. So I fight the taxes for them more than me. I mean, it's for me because I don't want them to go out of business. I want to keep my tenant. Let me read this question real quick here. Rob wrote, when you are considering that 6 cap on cash acquisition, does that assume a specific expense percentage? I'm not sure what you mean, Rob. I mean, I'm just talking about after I pay cash for a property, after all expenses, I'm going to net 6%. If I have $300,000, I'm going to make $18,000 a year on that house if I paid $300,000 for it. And I'm fine to hold a house that I paid $300,000 and getting $18,000 a year, 6%. Knowing that I'm probably going to sell that house in 18 months for $420,000 or maybe $450,000. It just depends. And if I can fix my green screen behind me, I would show you. But apparently, I can't. I don't know why that is. Anyways, but yeah. Well, congrats on the property that you bought, and.
Yeah, I talked to you last year, I believe, late last year about a different property, and you looked at it. It was also in Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah, I kind of remember that, sure.
Yeah. And that one was done. We finished it. I took it over. I opened it already. It's running right now,
Yeah, well, it's always nice when you can buy property and, if you have a company and you can justify it. I've had businesses over the last, 40-something years, and at a cabinet shop in the beginning. And so every time I bought a building, I would always say, I'm going to expand into this. And it didn't always happen, but I'd get a better rate. I had a built-in tenant because I was the tenant. The banks were kinder to me. And, it's a big advantage when you can say you're, owner-occupied, you get a better rate. And when you buy a building, you can buy a building, only take 40% of it. And, they don't watch it that close. They want you to take half of it, but they don't know.
Is it a good idea to pay? I paid 10% down. That's all what I paid.
Well, I'm impressed that you got a 90% loan. You got a 90% loan?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the bank's treating treating you well. And what did the property appraise for? You had an appraisal, I assume.
788.
Okay. So it appraised about 20% of what you paid for it anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually even they didn't want to first do the variable, which is Wall Street Prime, Wall Street Georgia Prime. They didn't want to do that at first, but I'm like that's the only way I would do it is if you guys want to do the Wall Street Prime, because I knew, or I kind of have a feeling interest rate will drop. So they told me, okay.
Yeah, I would if I was going to get a loan today, it'd be a variable.
Yeah, and not only that, but they put a floor on me. They put a floor of 5.5%.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Those bastards. Oh.
Yeah, because they also kind of knew the interest rate would drop.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm not gonna let them slide it. I'm gonna overpay. You know, I'm gonna pay them more than what the principal is. You know what I mean?
Right. They hit you for a point or any.
No, they can't pay. If I give them overpayment, if I pay more than 20% of the loan a year, they penalize me 3%.
But what about the opening loan? Did you have to pay a percentage, a point, or half a point?
No, nothing.
Okay. But they have restrictions.
I told them straight up, listen, guys, I don't want the loan. I don't have to have a loan. I don't care if you give me what I want, or I'm not gonna take it. I don't have to have it. You know what I mean?
Well, you should shop, and you should shop and get what you want. I don't like this.
Yeah, I shopped 3 different banks. You know, the first one give me like 9.5. The other one will give me like 10 or 11. He told me but I told him, dude, you can like pound on sand. I don't care. Like I don't have to get you a loan because I'm not desperate for this. I want to get a deal, or I'm not gonna get it. I'm not gonna do it because it's like it's a buyer's market now.
Well, so did the other banks you were dealing with, were they pushing you for a prepayment penalty? Because you got prepayment penalty on this one.
Yeah, the prepayment penalty if I decide to pay it off with another loan from another bank.
Oh, okay. So that's the restriction. Is it's okay if you sell it, you can sell it and not get penalized and pay it off. Yeah. But it's just only if they just don't want you shopping it. Bottom line. Yeah. You can't refinance.
What if I pay if my payment is $5,000? What if I give you $7,000 a month? There's no penalty. Or $6,000. If I give them over the minimum payments, they don't penalize me, and things like that. And if I want to pay it off early, they don't penalize me either.
Gotcha. Well, good deal. Hey, Russ, good to see you in here. Got one of my students actually in here. He's got plenty to bitch about too right now. He's got.
I will listen to you and him then.
No, yeah. Okay, well, hey, thanks, and you should consider getting in the mentorship. You sound like a sharp guy, and you can make a lot more money. And
for sure, one day when I'm free, no problem. I'm always working. I'm going to be busy with the remodeling and the.
Hey, everybody in my class, just so you know, everybody in my class is busy and smart. We got some high rollers in our class that are big businessmen, and you'd be right at home. It's a good family. I say I don't have a big dumb community. I actually have a small, very intelligent community. So it's really, really cool. But anyways, I appreciate you calling in, bud, and thanks for that, and congrats on your new purchase, and I hope.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Jermone, good to see you in here too. So you guys can call me at. I'll put it back in the chat again if anybody wants to call in. It's 512-739-1881, and you can call in and you can talk, and we can whatever anything you want we can talk about. I started calling up just because whenever the interest rates go down, when they've been sitting in a position like this and they start to go down, people get excited. People get excited, but they sit on their hands because nobody's going to jump for a quarter point. Nobody's going to jump for a half a point right now. I mean, if they're in a tight squeeze and they have to, they might refi. But for the most part, it's not going to spur the economy and people, start buying. It's just not enough. But what will happen is everybody's looking forward to the interest rates coming down more. But it's a big stall. You'll see. The market just kind of stalls even more. People will hold off buying because, believe me, people are still, struggling. AI is killing a lot of jobs too, by the way. A lot of jobs are going away. And, that's kind of your white-collar jobs. But and I would say that most of my tenants, not all of them, but a lot of my tenants are kind of blue collar on most of the houses, I guess I would say. And then I have, of course, all my couple 100,000 square feet of commercial, industrial, and office. Those folks are they're just businesses. So, anyways, but if anybody wants to call in, that's the number 512-739-1881, and anything you want to talk about, we'll talk about. But it's anticipated the interest rates will probably drop, a quarter point, and I believe it will too. I don't think it's going to help. I think it's going to matter, but it's going in the right direction. And for businesses, I can tell you, it will help the economy in as much as businesses will start to feel more. We already feel, that the country's going in the right direction. We're having to fix a lot of shit, and that's going to take some time. But I don't really know. I can say that I've been affected a little bit. I employ quite a few immigrants. I'm in Texas. We got them everywhere of all types, all nationalities. But I did have some construction crew folks that got deported, and that kind of hurt me because they were good hands, and I did put them to work. Yeah, hey Joshua, I'm with you on that. And I had one guy that actually had a green card, but he let his green card expire, and then he kind of got in a fight, and the cops came and hey Joshua, go ahead and call back, buddy. If that's you, I'll call this person back right now. All right. Yeah, I'll call him back. Sorry, apparently my ringer was not on. Okay. Oh, hey, Josh, this is Tom.
Yeah, what's up, man? Hey, you know what? I signed up for your thing like a few years ago, but I just never did the course.
Okay. Well, you're live on.
I probably got it. Okay. I probably got a good deal back then. I was like a few years ago. Now my business did pretty decent, so I just kind of put it on the back burner. But I'm just getting back in. I want to get back into it. So.
Okay. Well,
I want to
I don't want to talk about the course right now. Do you have anything to talk about on the market? We're live.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask because I was talking to my buddy, and he's a real estate guy. He's not obviously, but he's got a lot of money and he's successful. But he's like, yeah, right now is not the time to be buying and flipping because everybody's doing it. It's saturated. Just wait or something like that.
Yeah,
So
I don't listen.
Your thought on that?
Listen, that's a silly statement. There's no bad real estate. There's just bad deals. I bought 6 houses in the last 14 months. And
oh, wow.
Yeah, I bought one 3 weeks ago for $550. I bought another one just before that for $345. And
okay.
But everything I'm buying, it's still under market, and it still gives me a 6% return. If I can get a 6% return on a house, it's not bad. It's not my goal. I like higher returns than that in general. But for me, if every few months or so, I have enough money to pay for a house, from rents from other things, then I'll buy a house if I don't have anything better to do. I'm kind of getting, I'm winding down a little bit. I'm not quite as active as I used to be, and I'm actually busy mentoring my students that are actually killing it, So, but everybody, you're going to run into problems here and there that you don't see, and but that's what. Like I say, you're already in the mentorship, or you were, and I hope we'll have to talk to you. Not now, but we'll talk about it. Maybe get you back in there.
Yeah, not now. It's cool.
Yeah.
And my other quick question is how big of an impact you think Trump is making on the economy?
Oh, it's huge. It's huge. It's huge. I'm a huge Trump fan. I supported Trump. Cool. I'll bet I wouldn't doubt that I was one of the first 100 or maybe the first 10 people to donate to him when he came down the escalator, when he announced his presidency. And yeah, I've met Trump. I've talked to him, face to face. And I mean, I'll tell you, when you start talking to him, you realize, man, you better pay attention to what you're talking about, because he is he's just listening to every word. He doesn't even blink. He just takes every bit of it in. And no, I'm super, super proud of Trump, and I mean,
I'm just scared. I'm scared of Gavin for the next 4. I wish we could have Trump another 4 after.
Hey, you know what? The good news is it's only been 6-7 months, and what an impact he's already made. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I mean, God dang, he's cleaning up the streets now. He kind of always gets the black vote. I mean, he doesn't used to. The Democrats generally, get the black vote. They just kind of take advantage of it. They get it, and but a lot of the black folks have wised up, and they can kind of see that these blue cities, they don't give a shit about the black people. They don't give a shit about them at all.
Yeah,
and
the Democrats.
Yeah, they don't. They just take it for granted. And so, and it's funny. That was what I told Trump when I talked. I was a VIP, donor, and when I talked to him, I said, "Man, I hope you just keep talking to the black people," because he had just made the comment probably 2 weeks or a week before I'd seen him, and it was a private, meeting with there was about 30 of us, and I just said, "Man, I hope you keep talking to the black folks," because he said, "What the hell do you have to lose?" That's what he said to the black people back, 7-8 years ago. What the hell do you have to lose? Because they have nothing to lose. They have everything to gain. And anyways, it was really, really nice. And met Giuliani there as well, and which I was impressed with him too. He was a really nice guy. And
I like him. Yeah, I'm reading his book, The Art of the Deal.
Oh,
Pretty
yeah.
cool.
I've had that for 30, 40 years. That's an old book.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, I'm gonna get in touch with you soon and get back into the courses, and getting you guys a monthly thing. I get your emails still every Saturday for the school Saturday. Yeah.
Well, you have to jump into class. Well, thanks, Josh. I appreciate it, and
for sure.
Look forward to hearing from you soon.
All right, thanks.
Yeah.
See you, Tom. Goodbye.
Thank you. So, anybody else want to talk? Go ahead. It's getting late here. It's about 11:30. But anyways, whatever's on your mind, man, we'll talk about. Doesn't matter. There's no bad questions. It's 11:30 at night, so it doesn't really matter. And I assume everybody can hear us pretty well. Maybe let me know. So, Russ, what are you doing? Is it bedtime there yet? How's your daughter? I know you just come from the doctor's. And I don't know. Who else is in here? What's on your mind? We got 11 people here. Not a lot, but certainly somebody's got a thought they can share. All right. Well, I don't know what sure why I don't have my green screen behind me, but okay, Russ, go ahead. I've lost my green screen, so there's not much I can do for that right now. I'm watching for you, Russ. But yeah, so anyways, I wouldn't look for, with the interest rate dropping, I wouldn't look for like a huge surge. It's not going to happen. It takes a lot more movement, and it's probably take a year. It'd be my best guess. And assuming they drop it a quarter point, every time they lower them. Hey, Russ, how you doing?
Hey, pretty good, Tom. How about yourself?
Good. No, much to be grateful for. Let me tell you, I'm doing really well.
That's always
nearly 100% occupied. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, and no real problems. I've got. I have next to nothing. I have 2,000 square foot vacancy, and maybe one tenant that's a little bit rickety, but of about the same size. So really, not very much. And, I'm just thankful everybody's healthy. The businesses are healthy that are in my buildings, and nobody's showing much sign of weakness or failure. And so I don't know. So what do you see the housing market doing? Russ here is on the phone. He's actually an agent, broker. And what do you know, I don't know if you've ever noticed this before, Russ, but whenever the interest rate, when the interest rate goes down, after we've had a long time of things being stagnant, and maybe the rates are high, when they first start lower them, it doesn't do anything. It just causes everybody to go, oh, I wonder how much the next rate, when will it stop going down? And so a lot of people sit on their hands waiting for the best thing to happen. And I'm talking about just the general public. And right now, it doesn't even matter.
Right.
Nobody can do anything anyways because money's so expensive. Half a point isn't going to make a purchase possible now. You know what I mean? It's just not enough.
Right.
But I'm kind of glad because I've been thriving on buying properties as the market gets weaker. I've been buying properties a little under market, but little under market relative to what they are right now. But they're still $100,000 less than they were a year ago or a year and a half ago, and so that is, I feel that gap is going to come back. And I don't like to speculate much, but I do feel like we are going to bounce back with about a 1.5 drop. So, I heard announced tonight Trump's trying to cut prices how he can. He's talking about taking the tariffs off imported construction goods. I wish I could share a video right now. I tell you what, those of you guys that are watching, hey, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you're watching. And but I want to watch this video out with everybody. I think it's in China, and they have a factory where they're just framing. They're making walls. They're just making walls. They're building complete sets of walls for an entire home, trusses, everything. And these robotic machines and saws, they're just ripping it out and sending these things out on trucks, and then they're getting assembled in the field, and man, they go together really, really quick. It's really, really very cool.
I've seen that video a week ago or so.
Yeah, I might have sent it to you actually. But,
yeah. Well, regarding the tariffs, there's like an appeals court that ruled they're unconstitutional, so now it's going to the Supreme Court. I guess we'll see how it plays out in court. The tariffs that Trump enacted.
I don't think anybody's going to stop the tariffs, and nobody's going to stop the tariffs. They're bringing in too much money. It's too good for the country, and this doesn't hurt us anyways. And it's not going to go anywhere. And that's just what's sad is all the interference that gets thrown at Trump constantly, and so many good things are coming from the changes that he's made, and it's just people, you really see people's true colors. And
right.
And where their values are, and how they think about their constituency. It's
right.
pretty terrible. But,
yeah. Before you turn on that video, project, the remodels, I'm finally pushing that along, getting the insulation drywall in this week. Got one tenant and the second one lined up, so they're waiting. As soon as I get the occupancy certificate, they're gonna move in and get the money, flowing.
This is in Tumwater?
Yeah, this is in Tumwater, up over there. And then the most recent purchase, just putting up banners, making more advertising, and just trying to lease that thing as quickly as I can. The one thing that really kind of sticks in my mind every day, like you were telling us a couple of weeks ago, pretend this is your only property you have and you have to list it. And that mentality is going through my mind all day long. Like, you got to get it listed,
Yeah. Good. Yeah. So Russ is in the mentorship. He's actually one of my longest students and one of my most successful as well. And like I was telling him, it's easy to get complacent when you have a lot of, rentals, especially when they're full. You get a vacancy here and there, and it might be 10, 20, 30, 40,000, and you can let it go. It's not that much because you have enough coming in that it's insignificant. But man, you got to treat and when you come from being poor, which is where I came from,
Right.
and I had such a struggle. It took me a long time to build my portfolio up to be so strong. But I remind myself, and I was reminding the class, is that treat every vacancy like it's the only rental you have. No, it doesn't matter if you got 200 or 300,000 square feet. You get 1,000 square feet or 5,000 square feet, you address it immediately. You get the banner up on the building saying, hey, for lease, whatever advertising you might do to get it in front of people, Facebook, whatever, LoopNet, whatever, you do it. You don't waste any time, because you're pissing money away. You're just pissing money away. And I would say, he who hesitates gets left at the starting gate. It's something somebody said to me when I lost $250,000 deal back in the 80s, when that was like losing $750 today. And so you can miss things by seconds, by minutes, by months, weeks, whatever. And that's just not just on purchasing. That could be tenants, and you'll find, and the more rentals you got, and Russ, you're really getting up there. You're getting a lot of them now, and you'll find out, you talk to somebody and you find out, or somebody will call you and say, hey, how much? And they say, when do you want to move in? Oh, I just rented something else. And you go, oh, shit. They just rented something else, and you find out your banner, if it was just up a week earlier, you would have caught them, so.
Yeah, I already had that happen before.
Yep.
But it happened, that mental health clinic. It's kind of, once my main tenant decided not to lease the whole building, I'm like, maybe I'll go around back to those guys.
Yeah, they're starting to look a little more attractive.
Yeah.
Yeah, the homeless is okay.
Well, the way they presented it, they clean them up, they shave them, they make them look super nice and polished,
Right. Well, if it's a true halfway house and they're doing some good, that'd be great. But, if they're letting them live on the streets.
They leased another building. But the nice thing is, I'm literally the only clinic available in the whole of downtown.
Oh, wow.
Literally the only one. So
well, if they rent from you, they'll be in the nicest clinic, too.
Yeah.
I don't know. The only problem I see, Russ, is, you're going to have hobos or, not to...
Well, that's why I didn't take them. I'm just waiting out. Maybe a dental clinic will come along or something better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that would be your best bet, man, is like I say, get a banner on each of those up, like each floor, and, whatever, 10,000 square feet available. Or actually, you might as well start thinking about... Russ got a fantastic deal. He's got one of the most amazing deals I've ever seen of any of my students, really. I've got some real knockout deals that some of the students have done. But he's got a special property. He's got a property that's, more than $20 million property. And he got it for a fraction of that. And beautiful, perfect in every way. Everything is new. But he's in an area that had gone through a lot of this, bullshit, where the cities were on fire and a lot of stuff. And that's one of the reasons he got the deal, is because it's a poorly run blue city. And so, it's, it can be a double-edged sword. And you're finding out a little bit, and that's something that, I wouldn't even caught, this taxation for the, whatever they call it, the nuisance abatement or whatever they call it. But anyways, the bottom line is, what I was going to say on your thing is I would look at how can you take the second, third, fourth, fifth floor, and how can you break those into multi-units within the floor? Is that something you can do?
Yeah, there is. So the fourth floor, that's a medical clinic. It's a standalone by itself. Clinic, waiting area, offices, doctors' offices. Fifth floor, executive level. That's where they have all the executives over there. It's also a standalone, where you could easily rent it to like an IT company or something. Second, third floor, same kind of thing. Maybe a daycare of some kind.
Well, can you segment one floor into 4 rentals?
I had people calling and asking for like 1,500 square feet, 2,000 square feet, but I just didn't know if I wanted, 50 tenants in one building. I'd prefer to have 4 or 5 tenants at the most.
Sure, and I understand that, but you know what I mean? If it's, the temptation would be there for me if I was in your shoes to just kind of go, hey, whatever. Take one floor and break it into 3 suites. You know what I mean? If you could.
It's chop it up further down.
Yeah, I mean, if you can go up, and I don't know the exact layout in your place, but I mean, if you can go up there and, you know what I mean, and this is a suite, this is an office, multiple offices, and a common bathroom in the hallway. Why not?
I mean, maybe. I guess that might be the only way of going right now.
Well, it might be a way to bring in another $10,000-$20,000 until you get the rest of it filled. So, just something to consider. But
right.
Keep your
Well,
options
I had an
open.
Attorney.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had an attorney that was looking for like 2,000 square feet, and then a doctor that was looking for like 1,500 square feet.
Yeah. Well, they don't sound like they'd be too much trouble. Doctor, well, and you don't even have to worry about parking because you don't really have any anyways. So,
there's a parking garage and then that big parking lot like right across the street.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's not your problem. You don't have to worry about it. Yeah. Well, very cool. Yeah, I'm excited for you. Like I say, you just kind of grind on Tumwater, get that filled, and I mean, just got to work on all of them. Like you got a pretty big void right there. You got to work on.
And the thing is, I'm seeing these other deals come up, and I'm like, not right now.
Yeah, no.
I don't want to stretch myself too thin over here. I want to finish this up.
Yeah,
but the deals are there. They're coming up, and some of them are, really good as well. And I'm like, once maybe if I get all of this done, maybe I'll go for that one. Yeah,
no, I know the feeling. It's like everything looks great, but pretty soon you start to go, that looks great, but I got a lot of empties right now.
yeah, that's me right now. I need to finish up Tumwater and get this rented, and then. But this one here, the last one, wanted to keep it long term. It's in the opportunity zone.
Yeah.
For 10 years. So.
Yeah, you got some incentives there, and like I say, you'll get there. It's just, just some things take a little longer than you expect. But at the same time. Like I said, if you can just flip that thing and, make a nice chunk of money, like I say, never get hurt taking a profit. You know what I mean? You might look back and go, oh, it would have been nice to have that. But, and I've done that myself too. But, I've had properties that I've flipped and, whatever. Maybe I made $500,000 or $1 million or more. And then I threw that into buying another building that immediately was giving me income. But maybe I sold a piece of land for $3 million or $2.8 million, and it's probably worth about $4 million. Not too long after I sold it, but at the same time, those 3 years that had gone by, I was getting $300,000, $400,000 a year income on what I had purchased, and so it's okay. It's okay. It's just comfort and it's security, and I just learned. Like I say, I tell you all the time. Some of the regrets I've had on the properties that I held for a long time, even though I made millions of dollars holding them a long time, is that I wish I'd have sold them for a third of what I sold them for 20 years later. If I'd have sold them for a third of what I paid for them, like immediately, I could have used that money and parlayed it into much more than ultimately what I made. I can just kind of look back and look at the different properties that I bought, and I've held some long term. Many I've flipped, and I can't say that I've ever really regretted flipping any of my property. And yeah, they went up, but it's what I did with the income. I always put whatever income I'm deferring out of whatever I made into something new. I'm making more money with it, and so I've never really had any regrets. I can't say that I look back at any property, and I do have some regrets on ones that I missed that I could have put a little more hustle on that I didn't close on that I should have. But overall, but main thing is like I say, you gotta fill up what you got. You got to get that. It's a boat anchor if you don't rent it out. It's
right. Yeah. Right. Well, that's a good idea you gave me. I'm gonna look at it closer. Maybe I can chop off the second and third floor into smaller units.
Yeah, I mean, look at it this way. Maybe you could rent half of one floor between 2 or 3 tenants, and you'll get the same return as if you rented the whole floor. You know what I mean?
No, that's true.
Yeah. So you may get a premium on that on 3,000 square feet that you're not going to get on 10 or 20. So, but But
That
yeah,
could be it. Yeah. But another thing about selling, you can list it out there, and then you'll have the tax authorities be like, well, you had to list it for an X amount, so
yeah.
pay
So,
up the property
well,
tax.
that's why you write call for price. call for the price. Or yeah. No, I mean, I used to get frustrated, and those of you that are watching too, you get frustrated. Sometimes you're going through LoopNet or Crexy or whatever, and you're going, God dang it, put the damn price. I don't want to, how am I going to shop for stuff? There's no price, and I'm thinking it's just the agents are wanting me to, call in. They just want to get the number of another investor. But no, that's really not what it is. It's the tax assessors looking at those listings, and they're shoving it in their face, because I had it happen to me too. And I, like I told the assessor I was fighting with, this several years ago, I said, well, using your logic, I can put any fucking price I want on it and sell it for that, right? Is that what you're telling me? Because they were trying to condemn me on a price, saying, we want to tax you for $2 million, and I'm saying it's only worth $1 million. They go, well, but you have it listed for $2 million. I said, yeah, it's because I didn't want to be bothered by anybody, and but they're using, and I said, again, using your logic, I just put down a price and it's worth that. It doesn't make any sense. So, anyways.
Right, you're just testing the water, see if you're getting any nibbles, any interest,
It's irrelevant. Just because that is not a comp. Me putting a property for sale, I could ask $10 million. What, that makes it worth $10 million? You know what I mean? It's a $1 million property. You can't just simply say it's worth what somebody listed for. I mean, it's just
right.
It's stupid.
It has to sell, Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. And so, we but, and I'll tell you, I'm enjoying the AI for that reason, and it's going to be fun. I'll have more stuff to share as I fight the tax assessors with AI. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Got it.
So, anyways, it's probably getting near bedtime. It's almost midnight here.
Yeah, I got to put the kids to bed here.
Yeah, you're 2 hours, right? What is it there? It's 10?
Yeah, about 10 o'clock, 9:55.
Yeah, well, that's a beautiful family you got there. It's kind of neat. I got to relive my what are the kind of the youth of the youth of my kids with my grandson now. I got a grandson just turned 2. So, anyways, well, that's great. Well, like I say, you're doing great, Russ, and I'm looking forward to just seeing you keep growing and building and making it happen, and seeing you learn the lessons. Get some of the scares and all that other stuff that comes along with it.
You get everything here.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna
get your whole tie of the tenants saying, "Oh, I'm gonna take the whole building." They, voted multiple times on that. I'm over like, we're not taking it.
Right. Yeah, you're on top of the world, and then you're going, "Oh, wait a minute, this isn't supposed to happen."
Gotta go back to square one and start hustling again.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, it's
I
all
appreciate
fun, man.
for all your help.
Makes you stronger.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
I agree.
All right, man.
You have a good night.
Thanks. You too, Russ. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Well, hey, everybody else watching, I appreciate you hanging out. I hope you enjoyed listening in and in the chat, you guys too. But hey, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. I can't even seem to make that work. Oh, there we go. Subscribe. And if you want to learn about making money in real estate, go to FlipAnythingUSA.com and check out my page, and you can see my students, you can see my mentorship, and there's not a better mentorship out there, guarantee it. There's nobody comes even close. Take a look at the testimonials on my site. You'll see people that have become millionaires while they've been in my class in just a couple of years, and it's a beautiful thing. And whether it's 10 grand or 100 grand or a couple million or and Russ is one of my multimillionaires now from being in the class. And, there is no slouches. Everybody in my class, they're sharp. Nobody gets in my class unless they are smart. You got to show that you have the discipline to save money. Because if you don't have any money, you can't get in the class anyways. But I'm looking for people that are business-minded, people that have saved money and maybe grown businesses or sold their businesses and they have money, and they want to reap the rewards of what they built with their business. They got cash. You want to put those into passive assets so that you can, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You knock it out of everybody has their 15 minutes of fame. They knock it out of the ballpark. Not everybody, but a lot of people do in business. You know, they kill it for a couple of years, and then they got a chunk of money. And what you do with that can be the difference of living on easy street or blowing it. And, you know, and just because you made a lot of money in business doesn't mean you know enough about real estate. You can't, don't fool yourself into thinking, you know, and we all do that somewhat, right? We do very well in certain business, and we think, we're great at business. Well, but you're not great at all business. You're great at maybe what you were doing. But when you parlay that wealth that you made from your business or whatever, maybe you got a great job. There's a lot of people make $400,000 a year now with, you know, the tech jobs that are out there. And, you know, if you put some of that away and you parlay that again, you put that into some good passive income type investments, and like we got industrial, commercial, office, all kinds of stuff. And, you know, those things, you have the same tenant for 20 years. And, you know, you'll sign a lease that's worth millions of dollars. And it's like, oh, good, I don't have to worry for 5 years. I got, you know, a couple $1 million coming in over the next 5 years in rents. And that is all available to you, and it is possible. But if you fall into that category, successful business person, you got cash, but you don't know what to do with it, how to invest it right. And it isn't the stock market. The stock market's a loser. Nothing compares to real estate. But, you know, go to FlipAnythingUSA.com and you can schedule a call with me, and we can talk about it and, you know, maybe be a good fit for the mentorship. But thanks, everybody, for watching, and we'll do it again soon.